Let me start by saying hello, Lamar University. We have been all over this Golden Triangle area performing at the Ridgewoods, Sabine Oaks, Collier Park, Dallin Oaks, Hotel Beaumont, all over, and so it's good to finally have a performance here on campus with our family. And so we thank you for having us tonight. Today we have a new show for you. We have come together on this afternoon of Veterans Day to celebrate what we call the sound. It's a sound that binds us together in spite of our many differences. And it's a sound that indicates some of our most bitter of disappointments. It's also a sound that we use to signify some of our most triumphant and celebrated victories. In Talent on Wheels, we call that the sound of mystery and light. That sound simply is music. Composers of the sound have reached deep inside themselves, and they have brought to light so many mysteries that would otherwise be unknown. And since mankind has found its voice, that sound has reached beyond the barriers of generations, past the parameters of time, and beyond the resistance of race and religion. Tonight, we hope that the sound of mystery and light will exhort you to celebrate with us. In our country alone, the sound has been born of such a rich culture that's not merely Anglo-Saxon in its origin. During colonial times, many to the south were tormented by what the Indians called the Popocatépetl, the burning mountain. The Spaniards feared its mega-colossal eruptions that shook an entire country with violence. And so they placed at the mountain's summit a wooden cross in hopes that that cross would exorcise the demonic influence from the mountain's flames. Still, the local Indians believed that the Popocatépetl was a mouthpiece of the gods, a signal of their displeasure, even their anger against humanity. And it is for that reason, had you been on the shores of that land 400 years ago, you may have been surprised to see the sacrifice and to hear the sound to tame the volcano. Little move that she does when she goes like that. I was going to be in that number myself, but I didn't look right when I did that. But that was Susanna Lou and Sean Pasha, Taming the Volcano, so thank you for that. In April of 1861, the first shot of the Civil War was fired on Fort Sumter, with southern states succeeding from the Union in revolt, primarily against President Abraham Lincoln's opposition to slavery. The president vowed that he would exhaust all resources in preserving the United States of America. With such songs as Follow the Drinking Gourd and Wade in the Water, African Americans concealed their plans to escape from slavery by way of the North Star and the need to travel in the river's flow to cover their sins from pursuing bloodhounds. Their songs, now called spirituals, comprised a new genre of music birthed in this nation, that would give rise to what would be termed gospel over 100 years later. On January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing on this continent alone 4 million slaves. Had we been there on the morning of the Jubilee, when those whose ancestors had been enslaved on this continent for hundreds of years found out that freedom had come, we might have heard something that sounded like this. Are you still having a good time? If you are, make some noise. Are you having a good time? Make some noise. As we think about the development of the sound in America, we have to include the great patriotic numbers that proclaim their writers' love of country. In late 1896, John Philip Sousa learned that the manager of his band had suddenly died. He knew that he had to return to America from Europe at once to take over the band's affairs. He states that the happening was the most vivid incident of his entire career, writing that after the sailing vessel left the European harbor, he began to sense within his mind a rhythmic beat, a sound. And the words that Sousa later wrote speak of the enduring spirit of our nation. Let martial note in triumph float, and liberty extend its mighty hand. A flag appears mid thunderous cheers, the banner of the western land. The official march of the United States, John Philip Sousa's The Stars and Stripes Forever, was composed on Christmas Day, 1896. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please make welcome here to perform the Stars and Stripes Forever medley, directed by their captain, Miss Sherry Wilson, the Talent on Wheels Color Guard. We have stage adjustments we have to periodically do to make room for other people. Dr. Gagne, would you like to dance? Okay. The musical sound known as rock and roll had its golden age in the 1950s and the 1960s. with blues and gospel music as its roots in post-World War II sound. It featured electrically amplified guitars, harmonicas, and drummers who emphasized the afterbeats. First, the music became popular in small clubs, and then on the radio. Later, with the introduction of television programs such as American Bandstand, teenagers watched their favorite bands on TV. And the sound shook things up a little bit, because parents thought that the dancing was suggestive, that the lyrics were naughty, and that the sound was nasty. Some of you people here probably thought that too. In the 1950s, there was one rock and roll song that became one of the biggest hits of its day. It told the story of a lover who was spurned by his beloved, and now he stood alone. And it seemed to speak of a scenario that was all too familiar to many of its listeners. So here to perform the 1956 hit Blue Moon by Elvis Presley is a real ladies' man, Eric Sue.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I could really care for. And suddenly there appeared before me the only one my arms could ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. But when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon.
I get that same reaction every time I walk into class to teach, Dr. Doblin. Tonight we've looked at the beginnings of the sound. American music from the natives of this land through the birth of rock and roll. With the 1960s and the 1970s, a new sound in American... You're jacking with me today because you know all these people are here. What?
We've been talking about music and this performance. What about the Middle Eastern culture? That has influenced music in America.
Okay, now this is Sean Pasha, and he is from Pakistan, and now he's going to come out here in the middle of this show, knowing that he ain't on my agenda, and talk to me about the what kind of music? What?
Middle Eastern culture.
Middle Eastern influence on American music. Well, I personally didn't know there was a Middle Eastern influence on American music.
There is.
What would you like me to do about it?
Allow my group to perform.
Well, it's not on my agenda, and it's not on our soundtrack. Are you all... Okay, it's a democracy. I will let you perform. What do you call yourselves?
Sean Pasha, the Infidels.
Oh, the Infidels, nonetheless. Okay, I will introduce you, and because they want to see you perform, so I don't have a problem with it. But don't do this to me ever again, or I'll kill you. Okay, anything special you need? Ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together and welcome, performing the Middle Eastern influence on American music, Sean Pasha and the Infidels.
When we come down, birds are gonna sing, birds are gonna sing, and it hurts our team. Then we hit the stage, not the colors down. Music in the air every time we are out. The dance we perform, I can describe in words. We dance through the pools or you got served. Next I don't care. When I hit the party, the music like the sound. And makes you move your body, now steps in the music. I'm listening to your life, that's light to the night. If your change shines bright, so chord be a freedom. And organize the station. The students rock the mic and once again shift the nation.
No more surprises. I told them last night in our practice, I said, don't do anything that's a surprise for me. I don't like surprises. I'm getting old. Okay, I'm going to move on now. Are y'all done? Yeah? Okay. Tonight we've looked at the beginnings of American music from the natives of this land through the birth of rock and roll. During the 1960s British invasion, protest songs and the drug culture made a significant impact on the American musical landscape. Tunes born of this era made way for the 1970s that produced a sound that spawned the birth of dance clubs literally by the tens of thousands all over the nation. The music was called disco and funk. And I've asked this all over the Golden Triangle now, and this will date yourself a little bit. Has anybody here ever been to a discotheque? Within the last 10 days? Dr. Gagne? No? Well, Elvis, doo-wop artists, and the Chiffons moved over to make room for the Mamas and the Papas, the Bee Gees, the Doobie Brothers, and Earth, Wind, and Fire, just to name a few. The young want to kill you.
We have a problem.
What's the problem?
Sam doesn't want to perform with us.
Sam? Well, Sam,
Yeah.
you're going to dance in this song because we practiced it that way.
I can't. I'm bow-legged.
Sam, I don't think that will affect your dance performance. Would you please just perform in this song?
I can't. I'm bow-legged.
I'll give you $10.
You can't fly me off.
Since when?
We can't do it without Sam.
Just do it with 5 of you.
We can't.
I'll give you $10.
Okay.
I might go back there and make sure everything's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please make welcome performing Disco Boogie and Funky Fever, the Talent on Wheels Disco Boogie and Funky Fever dancers.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. I came for a while, on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA. California dreaming, on such a winter's day.
best.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that while we were doing that, I saw a couple of the people over 20 in here kind of getting a little movement. And you know that's very dangerous, Dr. Doblin. Woo! How many of you raise children? Well, I got 19 of them. How many of you raised 19? Don't answer that. But you know, we've been doing these shows for a few years, and I used to stand up through all of them. I don't do that anymore. I'm tired. I am going to talk to you a little bit. I had a wonderful, wonderful set of parents as well as grandparents when I was growing up. And one of the things, the primary reason, in fact, that we do what we do in Tal on Wheels is because we are grateful. We're grateful for the people who have gone before us, and many times that is our family members. Beside my parents, my grandmother on my mother's side, I call her Big Mama. Any Big Mamas in the audience? Okay, I see a few hands up. Put your hand down, Paul. My Big Mama, she had a favorite hymn that she used to like to sing. And the day that we had her memorial service after she died, my mother said, Keith, you got to go play Big Mama's favorite hymn. And so I am grateful for what my grandmother taught me, what she did for me, the lessons that she so wonderfully demonstrated before me. I think some of you may know this song. It was her favorite hymn. It's called In the Garden. And if you know it, I'd like for you to sing along. In Talent on Wheels, we are very grateful, not just for the members of our family who have gone before us and have taught us and made available to us so many of the freedoms that we enjoy, but we're also very grateful for all of those outside of our family, those who have, over the past 5 seasons, in fact, welcomed us, shared their homes with us, they have given to us, and we love them very much. And so, as is our tradition in every performance, we dedicate this performance to all of our friends from Collier Park and all of our friends from Dallin Oaks, the seniors of America.
I am grateful to generations before mine, because without their sacrifices, I would not be blessed with what I have today.
grateful to generations before mine because they have blessed me with such lovely music.
I am grateful to generations before mine because of the great deeds they have done. I am grateful to generations before mine because they are the light and the motivation behind us, propelling us into the future.
I am grateful to generations before mine because there is no greater gift in this world than one who holds the ability to share years of his or her wisdom with others.
I am grateful to generations before mine because of their spirited endurance.
I am grateful to generations before mine because they have made my world a beautiful possibility. I am grateful to generations before mine because they believed in manifest destiny and the building of railroads. I am grateful to generations before mine because they developed and maintained the customs that still keep alive the bonds of our families. I am grateful to generations before mine because of their wisdom and experience. I am grateful to generations before mine because they have fought for the generations after them. am grateful to generations before mine for allowing me to live in a just and democratic country.
I am grateful to generations before mine because their sacrifices have created a better tomorrow for me.
One of the greatest demonstrations of a person who hears the sound of mystery and of light can be found in the life of H.G. Spafford, an attorney in Chicago in the late 1800s. In a series of bereavements, Spafford and his wife lost their only son, leaving the couple in tremendous grief. Then, several years later, in 1871, they lost everything that they owned in the Great Chicago Fire. Mrs. Spafford and their remaining 4 daughters left for England. But just off the coast of Ireland, the sailing vessel met with great tragedy and sank. Spafford received a cable from his wife that said saved alone, and he knew then that he had lost his remaining 4 children. He left the United States to join his wife in England, and just off the coast of Ireland, where the first vessel had sank and drowned his 4 daughters, Spafford saw that terrible sight, returned to his cabin, sat down at his desk, and penned the words of the greatest sound of faith in our history. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Casey Winslow. I don't really know what to say after that, Casey. Kind of left me speechless, which is odd for me. It's hard for me to believe that I've been doing this for 5 seasons now, because I'm not that old. Of course, I started this when I was 16. I just started here at... Something wrong with that? Just started here at Lamar. No, I'm a little bit older than that. But we have been at this for 5 seasons now, and I tell you what, this group of people and the ones that came before them over the past 5 seasons have danced and have sung about everything from love to life, from personal faith to patriotism. Over these seasons, we've had very special shows with very special moments. In the Spirit of America, immediately after September the 11th, 2001, we paid tribute to common citizens whose heroism was just unbelievable. In the Language of the Heart, we actually put a magic show on, set to music. In Defenders of the Dream, we paid tribute to fallen soldiers from World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, Operation Desert Storm, and Operation Iraqi Freedom. And over those 5 seasons that we have been doing this throughout this area, those moments have been very special to us because we have shared them with the people at Collier Park, and the people at Dallin Oaks, and the people at Sabine Oaks, and the Ridgewood, and Hotel Beaumont, and Schlesinger, and all of the places that we have performed in. There have been times when we've seen you crying with us, laughing with us, and I even remember a few times when some of you got up and danced with us, and that was a lot of fun. But these are moments when all of us together have experienced something that I don't know that we could have experienced alone. So for our finale this season, we wanted to pay tribute to the 5 seasons that you, our audience, has made us feel very special. So this is your tribute. The spirit of America, perhaps, can best be seen when we think of the heroism that can be found in our nation's common citizens. Those who, when terrorists attacked our nation on September the 11th, 2001, ran into blazing and collapsing towers of the World Trade Center, while others rushed out. They hoped to bring fellow Americans to safety, but ultimately, in their valiant efforts, they sacrificed their own lives. The music that speaks best to the spirit of America, perhaps, could be demonstrated with sounds from the bravery of 3 men aboard United Airlines Flight 93. One of those men, Todd Beamer, called home to tell his loved ones goodbye, and then with his 2 comrades rushed the terrorist hijackers of Flight 93, ultimately sacrificing their own lives to save the lives of thousands on the ground. The spirit of America was doubted on September the 11th, but the tragedies of that day only proved the resilience of the American spirit. And in the past 5 seasons in Talent on Wheels, we have heard the music that reveals that spirit. This afternoon, we remember those who lost their lives on that fateful day. The spirit that pervades a whole nation will not die, and we still hear the sound. make welcome the master of deception, Samuel May.
Yesterday, the sweetness and the sorrow, we did what we had to do, but I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to follow. It's as if we always knew. But I won't forget what I did for love, what I did for today goodbye and point me towards tomorrow. Wish me love the same to you. Won't forget, can't regret what I did.
That we can plainly see, like the magic that's found in nature, in a flower, or in a tree. And you can find true magic. Here is how you start. Just look for love, and there you'll find the language of the heart.
Can't
Well, you see why these kids are so popular now, don't you? They are something else. I told them last night that I've been getting a lot of the attention the last couple of weeks with the Julia Ben Rogers Award. But really, these people have worked just as hard as I have. They met every Monday and Tuesday night after going to class all day and then attending study hall at night. Then they would meet me in our academy office at 9 p.m. and we would practice right up until their curfew on Monday and Tuesday nights. And then they would go back to their dorms and we'd do it again after Monday on Tuesday. And then that first performance started getting close. And we got real nervous and we started calling extra practices. We said we still got 4 numbers that we haven't learned, but they have worked so hard. And I want to say this to you. Guys, I gave all of them last night a personal letter. But I want to tell you all, including my people backstage. Can you hear me back there, Sam? Yeah. Good. I love all of you, each and every one of you, very much. And I thank you so much for all you've done this year to make the Golden Triangle a happy place. Thank you. Dr. Monahan, can you come up and say? Every year after we perform, we award these students because they have worked so hard. And like I said, they don't get a lot of the attention regularly, but we also like to award our director. She doesn't know. But isn't she beautiful? Yes, we didn't know she was going to wear the pink today, but that's symbolic of the love that we feel for you. So we thank you for all you do for us. She makes the Academy a great place, and it is a great place, don't y'all think? Before I give the students their awards, we have 2 students, former students, who are here in the office, who are here in the auditorium with us today, and they are 2 of our founding members of Talent on Wheels from a few years ago, and now they are happily married. So see, we not only perform, we get people, ready for life. And they are here, and I'd like for them to stand, and that is Catherine's sister, Allison, and her husband, Michael Stewart. I said that they were founding members. After Michael graduated from the Academy, he stayed here at Lamar, and every time, and Dr. Gagne will remember that first year that he was here, I called on Michael. I said, I need help setting up. What time do you want me to be there, Mr. Needham? I said, Michael, I need help taking the equipment. What time do you want me to be there, Mr. Needham? Michael, I need some extra help with Talent on Wheels. What time do you want me to be there, Mr. Needham? He has a true servant's heart. And that's what this program develops in its students, is the heart of a servant. And about a year and a half ago now, Michael up and decided that he was joining the United States military. And I said, Michael, this was after we had already started the war in Iraq. I said, Michael, what are you doing? And I expected him to say something other than what he said, but this will tell you what the heart of a servant says. He said, this is the right time. So what do you mean it's the right time? We've just gone to war. It's not the right time to go into the military. But Michael's comment was this was the time that he was needed. And so he went into the Army, and in just a few weeks, Michael will be leaving to be on a 18-month tour in Iraq, helping to make sure that come January, a democratic government is put in place there. So today, Michael, I'm going to ask you to come forward. We're going to make a special honor for you today. This says, presented to Michael Stewart, Private First Class, if you start crying. Presented to Michael Stewart, Private First Class, United States Army, for honorable service to his community and country, a founding member of Talent on Wheels, a project of the Texas Academy of Leadership in the Humanities, Thursday, November the 11th, 2004. He's not only a great servant, he's also one of my really best friends. We are now going to present each of our students, Dr. Gagne, with their certificates. So if you'll come back and help me. I'm going to tell you what their names are and where they're from. And students, if you'll just come forward and take your certificate, I'd be real happy about that. Okay, here we go. Okay, y'all ready? This is for all your hard work. First up, from Beaumont, Texas, is Catherine Bollock. From Houston, Texas, and she was a finalist in the Miss Columbia pageant this summer, Diana Casedo. Okay, from League City, Robert Chapman. From Houston, Texas, Reggie Daniel. You usually have my tie on. Where is it? Oh, okay. Okay, from Port Arthur, Texas, Matthew Drummond. From Temple, Texas, Richard Godley. From Fort Worth, Texas, Lauren Hellickson. From Trinity, Texas, Hannah Hovelman. Hannah Hovelman. From Houston, Texas, Joel Joseph, also known as Jay Gisley. Okay, from Crockett, Texas, Claire Lake. From Houston, Texas, Susanna Liu. From Brenham, Texas, and he is my stage manager. And I tell you what, I'm going to say this. He has come before all of our practices for an hour and a half and has stayed after for about an hour each time, sometimes with the help of Reggie, helping us set up, take down, and move furniture. And he has worked so hard this year. And I could not have done this without you. And so from, where did I say you're from? From Brenham, Texas, my stage manager, Sam May. Okay, from Grapevine, Texas, Britta Redwood. From Amarillo, Texas, Sky Rudd. From Beaumont, Texas, Eric Sue. From Austin, Texas, Casey Winsman. And from Chirino, Texas, Sherry Wilson. I have one more for someone who has become like a son to me. I call him my Pakistani son, and that is Sean Pasha. Don't you like his hair? and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming today. We appreciate it so much. It's been a great day for us, and we honor all of those again from Collier Park and Dallin Oaks. God bless you all and have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Does it help you?
Anybody seen JJ?
Hey, you might want to turn your recorder off.
I will agree.
Mr. Neal. Okay, whatever. Who's noticing? Like, someone to take it. Do you need it? I don't care. I'm sorry you're still on. I'm sorry you're still on. I tried to tell the studio to turn you off, but you just won't listen to me. They don't know.
Well, that just means.
What is she doing? She's fighting.
Reggie, you have to dance with it.